Hello, hello. 1 2 1 2.
Yeah.
You just kind of like stopped randomly.
Yeah.
Are you just yelling and then turning your mic off middle of it?
Yeah.
Oh, that one wasn't.
Yeah.
Maybe
I'm just stopping in the middle.
Maybe you're just like a car revving up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Hey gamers, welcome to an episode of Bonus XP. Today we're going to talk about something that's kind of been a buzzing topic in current events, PlayStation Plus and its new packages that are coming out in the future. Jason, have you heard much about this?
Yes, I have. I was super ready for it, and I was following all the rumors for like weeks and weeks and months of like, are they going to do it or not? So it was
it was really funny where all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah,
Bam,
we could get something as early as next week, and then all of a sudden it's early next week, and you're like, whoa, we got it.
Yeah, they actually did it. So a little bit of background. This was previously kind of known as Project, I think, Spartacus. So if you heard about that, this is what we're talking about. So to give a brief rundown, PS Plus is going to be changing in, I think they said June or July of this year, 2022.
June of this year, yeah.
Perfect. So there's three things that it's kind of happening. There's three models that you can have here. And largely what we're seeing is the PlayStation Plus brand thing, whatever, kind of combining with PS Now and a little bit more. So to kind of break it down, there's three levels. The base level is called PlayStation Plus Essential. And this is literally just what PS Plus is right now. So like you get to play online, you get a few free games per month. I want to say it's $10 per month if you just pay monthly in US.
Yeah, and I don't think there's not really any cost change for this because I feel like they didn't want to ostracize people from their current stuff, right? It's not like you're being pushed out. It's more like here are additional options if you like what we have to offer or you want more games.
Exactly. Yeah. So PS Plus is going to be called PS Plus Essential. And then PlayStation Plus Extra is where things get a little bit different. This is $15 a month, or you can pay $100 a year, and you get everything from PS Plus Essential, like the same stuff you had from PS Plus. And you also essentially get PS Now services. So this gives you a catalog of up to 400 PS4 and PS5 games. And then you can just basically stream them whenever you want. So it's pretty cool. And you can also download them, I believe, to your console, which is a pretty big benefit. And then the last one here is PlayStation Plus Premium, which is the most expensive, but it's $18 a month or $120 annually. You get everything from PS Plus Essential and Extra. And you also get an additional assortment of games from PS3, PS2, PS1, and PSP. And those games are also all downloadable with the exception of PS3. Those are only streamed through cloud streaming, which is a little weird. And you also get game trials for like brand new games as well.
Yeah, I thought that was really weird that you can't stream PS3 games. Like it's weird.
No. You only stream.
Oh, sorry, you can't
download.
You can't download them, right? That's so weird. I didn't realize that there was such an emulation problem. Like I watched a couple of videos, just like making sure I'm pretty sound on all this, and I just it's just so weird. Like it's weird that system of all the systems is the odd man out.
Yeah, exactly. I don't understand why. It's been around for what, 12, 13 years. You kind of figured they would have this.
Oh, more than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably more than that. Exactly.
I think it's been 15 years.
Yeah, probably. Also, sadly, for the back catalog, no Vita on there, just PSP. But I digress.
I mean, Vita games are still up for grabs on the PlayStation shop, like because it hasn't closed.
True.
So
yeah, that's true.
That's probably a part of the reason why. But yeah, so we just wanted to talk about this and like the opportunities that this provides or where the gaps and whatnot. So Jason, what's sounding good to you? Like personally, when I hear about this, I initially think of cost. And
for sure.
Even if you are doing the most expensive one, that's less than $10 a month if you do, less than $12 a month if you do the full year package, which
exactly.
if you're thinking about all the benefits of like access to basically PlayStation's initial library and, being able to try new games before you buy them, I think that's great. Like that's a pretty comfortable cost, because it's just not like $10 to $12 a month is not a lot. Maybe $120 up front might be, but if you think about it in the grand scheme of things, I just don't think that's asking for that much. But what about you?
I completely agree. I think that it's important that you can do exactly what you did before. Nothing will change. So unless you were someone that subscribed to PS Now only, you have to pay a little bit different. But with these 3 tiers, nothing is different. And I also do agree that $12 per month, if you drop the 120 annually, isn't that much to get a lot of content. I think something that's worth noting is that there is still those 3 tiers, so you can keep paying your same amount. Nothing will change. And if you still have PS Now, you're essentially still getting PS Now if you want it. It's just there's additional stuff here. But it's just tough because I don't know what's really going to be included game-wise. They haven't really announced it. So it's this cool feature, but I just don't know if it's going to be what I really want.
Yeah, there's a lot of ambiguity, and that's something that makes me very uncomfortable. But let's stick with maybe something that we do know, which is we definitely know we're getting game trials. How does that resonate with you? Like, how often have you wished that you could test a game in its complete form, not necessarily just like a demo form, but like an actual complete form before you played it?
Yeah, that is pretty cool. Yeah, exactly. It is pretty cool. And there's so many games that I think linger on the like multiplayer aspect for us. If you want to buy it right away, it's different. If you wait and you miss the rush or whatever, the gameplay could be very different. So that's pretty cool. And in theory, let's say there's, I don't know, let's just say it's like Overwatch 2. And for some reason, I wasn't sure if I wanted it, even though I'm going to buy it day one. But let's assume I didn't. And now I wanted to see what it's like. And now I can just get it for free for a couple hours and then realize, I want to keep playing that and then dish over $60. Like, that seems pretty great. Like, it seems really, really great.
Yeah, Scott and I are playing Tiny Tina's Wonderland right now. And I love it. Like, it's good. It's a good game and it's done well. And I know that it has its issues that people are complaining about. Like, in some ways, it's a step backwards, in some ways, a step forward. But personally, I would have waited to buy it by 2 or 3 weeks. And I know in the long run, probably doesn't matter because you'd be spending the money anyway. But there's a lot of couch co-op issues that we're having with performance. Yeah. And these are things that might have already been buffed out already at the time of this releasing, but like they weren't when we played it
not on day one.
Yeah, not on day one. Like there was not a day one patch buffing this out. And it's frustrating because you're playing this game that you're very excited to play. And it's not a case of it's not the game that you thought it was going to be. It's a case of the game isn't performing how it should. How games should. And like full on game stuttering, game freezing for 5 to 10 seconds with really annoying noises. It's kind of unforgivable. So this is one of those opportunities where, if we had the game trial and we were, like, let's test this out. Let's see if this is something that we like, or even if it's just a game that like, maybe I'm super sold on, but Scott's not, and I want to try and sell him on this.
Yeah, that's a good point.
We play it for an hour or two together, or however long we can trial it, and then we know, is this something that you want to play? Oh no, it's not. Well, good. I didn't spend $70 on it, or however much money.
Yeah, you basically spent zero if you just get rid of your investment you had anyways. It's pretty cool. I think that for me, one of the cool things about that, you kind of mentioned it. Let's say you tried the game and it wasn't working with you and Scott or you and whoever else you're playing, or even just by yourself. I mean, you can just pick another game. Like, you have hundreds of games. And if you're someone like me that appreciates older games, like, it's wonderful. And if you're not someone like me and you just want to play the new games, like, there's going to be a shit ton of new games that you can just play too. So it's pretty cool just to go down a list and be like, yeah, I want to play that. And you can just do it.
Oh, absolutely. Another big thing that you brought up was just the sheer number of games that we're going to have if you pay for the top tier. And I think you said it was probably somewhere around 500 games, right?
It's 400 PS4, PS5 games, 340 PS1, 2, 3, and PSP.
And there's just so much ambiguity that comes with that. And I kind of get the impression it's possible that that could just be the PS Now library. Have you ever used PS Now?
I have not, but I am pretty intimately aware of what it is. So like, there's like, what questions do you have?
Okay, so I have, but I just wanted to see if you did too. I like it because there are some games that like if it's PS4 or PS5, I personally, I'm like you, I like owning it. But when it gets to those older games, I don't necessarily want to have to set up my old system to play
Totally.
Some of it's like sluggish performance. Sometimes it's, you kind of get grafted to the most recent controller that you're using.
Yeah.
Having to backpedal to a smaller PS2 controller, can have
so much quality of life stuff
feels.
happens. Yeah, exactly.
So I got really excited because I got to play Fallout New Vegas, which for me is the only way to play it now, and that's my favorite Fallout is playing on PS Now because I don't have a computer that could run that. I like this option of going back and getting some of these older games, but I'm really nervous about how much we're going to get outside of what's already on there, because the further back you go, the less there is. Would you kind of agree?
Yeah, I think so. And there's some glaring omissions from that PS Now catalog, which we're just literally assuming here that this is what they're going to do. But I mean, like Crash isn't on there. Spyro's not on there. Like some of those big heavy hitters. And also to your point, you're talking about Fallout New Vegas. I mean, Microsoft owns those companies now, so it very well could be that won't also be even beyond there. So like it's a weird moment to think about what you want to do because you don't really know. It's like going to be buying blind, basically.
Yeah, kind of. So my hopes are that we get a follow-up on the games that are going to be on there, because like that's going to determine for me how much money I'm going to be spending. Like I'm not just going to sign up for this just to do it, because currently, I don't have PS Now anymore. I kind of stopped doing it as soon as I was done playing Fallout New Vegas. But if I have the opportunity to have those older games on there, like that would definitely sway me in this whole upper tier, having those game trials, wanting to be able to play some of the oldies, because there are just like some games that you just can't get anymore.
Yeah, I agree.
Especially those PS1 and PS2 games.
Totally. And some of those games get hella pricey, and it's again, it's great because like you and I are pretty, I don't know, probably specific in what we'd want to play. Wild Arms, Persona, Kudelka, like, are those games going to be on there? Probably not. And so like if it was there, I'd be like, oh yeah, day one, I'm paying $10 to play that freaking game. But if they're not there, then it comes down to like, I already own literally hundreds of PS1 games, literally hundreds. So chances are I'm probably buying PlayStation Plus Premium for like convenience. And I'm okay with convenience. That's cool. But like, it doesn't hit me as much, but I'm still overall excited. It's still pretty cool.
You kind of hit the hypothetical of games that you think I would want to play. But
yes.
What are some of these games that you want to see? Like what
Yeah.
If you had your wish list of games that these new PS Plus options included, what would you want? And I know you have everything, but I mean, like, you don't have.
It's funny because I don't have everything, and that's like what I would want. So I mean, yeah, like Kudelka, that'd be a good one. The Tomba series, Klonoa, like they're on PS1 and PS2. Like those would be really cool because they're just too expensive nowadays to really find. So those are the ones that I would really want to see on there. And the other things I want to see are games that I can play with friends. So like if I'm sitting on the couch and we're looking through, like I could get a game like, I don't know, Crash Bash, like a random PS1 game that can play 4 players. That'd be really fun. Or a random racing game. That'd be pretty cool. That's something that I think I would look for. But I would assume that you are very different than that.
Kind of. Yeah. I mean, there are some games that I would want to play just out of sheer nostalgia. Like
Yeah.
Nightmare Creatures is a game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That I would
that
totally want to play. I know it's not particularly a great game, but it's one of those games that I never actually got to play too far on, because back in the day when PlayStation used to have demo discs, it was one of the games that was on there. So I think I've only played probably the first level, but it's kind of like an early Dark Soulsy, Devil May Cry-ish game. So, you know, that could be something cool to appreciate in all of its clunkiness. I think playing the old Tenchu games would be super fun. Like, you want to talk about early stealth games that kind of like invented the genre. I mean, that's where we start. But then there are, you know, obviously all of the RPGs, and I don't even mean like the crazy ones. I don't think Kudelka is all that crazy, because I don't know, is that a Sony one? I feel like that wasn't that on PS3. Like, couldn't you get that on the PS3?
Yeah, or Vita or something like that. Yeah,
there are a couple of those that were taken off of the store from the PS3 to PS4 hop. No more options again to play Fallout New Vegas, but it would be great. But honestly, I want to play Dragon Age so badly.
Origins?
Yeah, well, all three of them. I know people rip on 2 a lot. I don't think it's that bad. I know it's not necessarily to the same standard of the first one, and I think actually like the first one hits the RPG a lot harder than the second and third do. But that's a series that I've been itching to get back into. And it's funny because for Christmas, I think Scott actually asked you what to get me, and you suggested a PS3, which was really sweet. But like, most RPGs on PS3 are available elsewhere. Like a lot of them have been remade, like Final Fantasy 13 was Final Fantasy 10 was re-released on 3, and that's the like basically what they use for on PS4 and PS5 and Switch. Like, it's basically the same one. So there are a lot of these games that are on there, aside from like the 2 that I would want to play are Dragon Age and Fallout New Vegas. I don't think I would want anything else from those, but
I think if we look at, like, oddly enough, Nintendo doing something kind of cool with like its older games, like they have kind of released in North America games that were previously only in Japan, and there's a like crap load of games like that on Sony's consoles, and that would be really cool. Just bring over some of those, even if you kept them just in Japanese. Like, I would still try it. Like, it'd be really cool to see those games, and there's hundreds of them. That would be pretty sweet.
Games in the Saga series, which I don't think have released over here. My whole issue with it, and I know it comes down to player interest and or consumer interest, is that Nintendo rolls out games at such a snail's pace that I think they're just kind of like, oh, you'll appreciate it more if we're like, here is this one obscure game. And, we have 5 or 6 of the major releases, but, there are still some things that's like, okay, but you like Chrono Trigger is only available on Steam / the Apple Store right now. Like, here's a game where you could release that. Or why is Super Mario RPG not on?
There. Yeah.
Like of all of them, so they really roll out games slowly. I want to see games roll out a little bit faster and with more integrity, because if we're paying this subscription fee, this library needs to be ample enough to fulfill. Like, if I was like a one genre hoe, like if I only played RPGs, I want to see a variety of RPGs. I don't want to see 2 RPGs, because I think on like the Nintendo one right now, all there is on the Super Nintendo is Breath of Fire and Earthbound. And I just finished Earthbound, so now I just have Breath of Fire for those classic games. Great games, not complaining. And I know it's Breath of Fire 1 and 2, but like, the Super Nintendo is one of the meccas of RPGs. So if that was my only niche, like if those were the only things that I played, I'd be like, this is not worth my money. Unsubscribe. You're not getting it, So I think PlayStation, if they really want to compete, really get in hard with some of those. Give people a variety of options within each genre. What do you think?
I wonder if like the developers of other companies, Capcom, Square, I don't know, anyone else, Sega, if they'll look at it and see like, hey, a lot of people are on this thing for PlayStation Plus Essential and all that jazz, if they'll start adding more, or they'll like reach out to put more games on there, or if it's going to be something like you said, a slow drip feed.
I doubt Square will. I think Square is very stingy. I think they have their own, and stingy is probably not the right word. They have their own method of how they're doing it, and I feel like they're staying very true to that, and it's working for them because they can release their remasters / re-releases and not let anyone else reap the benefit of that, and it's fine. Like, I wouldn't want to release Chrono Cross on this whole new like PS Plus option because I'm re-releasing it as a remaster, and I can probably I'll make a lot more money than I would make for whatever Sony's going to pay me for the subscription. So, but not like you said, not everyone has that.
No one has that luxury.
Yeah. So Capcom, I feel like once they're done with a genre or series, like it kind of goes by the wayside, and you never hear of it again. And there are those games that people probably would want to play. And you mentioned like Kudelka being the same. We have some of these RPG series like the Shadow Hearts or Wild Arms where no one's going to get to experience them anymore. And of course, if they somehow like Tri-Ace or these other companies were like, boom, surprise, here it is again, we'd be like, oh, take all of our money. I'll take all of my clothes off for you. Put it in my butt. Like it'd be great, but we don't know if we're going to have that luxury because we don't even know if those companies exist anymore. So
yeah, you bring up a good point too, because like if it's a company like I don't know who made those games, whomever made Shadow Hearts, are they going to take the bigger risk of re-releasing a game like that, like Shadow Hearts, and taking the money to make it, or are they going to do the safer bet of basically just saying, here you go, Sony, like take this code and put this game on your service, and then get like, I'm assuming they get some money for that. So maybe that's an even safer bet for titles like that. And I honestly don't know, but I'm hoping that's what it is, because like everyone kind of benefits from that. Just having the access to those other games is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's almost like surveying interest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
where
definitely.
Like if they put Breath of Fire on here and they have like 3-4 and Dragon's Quarter, which everyone complains about, I fucking love. It's a great game. But if a lot of people are playing those, and like if I could get the statistics on that, I'd be like, cool, we're releasing a new Breath of Fire. People are still eating this. Yeah, I mean, like people are still eating this game up. So yeah.
Well, I also wonder if that, I would assume, well, I have one other thing.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that doing this, it would also keep like the bevy and suite of services that PS4, PS5 has, specifically thinking you could stream these games. So like it should be really easy to throw those up there, and you should see a lot more retro streams of stuff like Breath of Fire 3. And that's pretty cool too. Like you can finally see these games here, and then people can really get behind other streamers. It opens up more avenues. It can make people more interested.
There's no shame for people like me who don't like, I will emulate a game, but I don't prefer it if I can get to the game. Like, how much money I spent on Shadow Hearts 1 and 2 and Wild Arms 5 and Alter Code F. Like you physically know how much I spent. I don't feel bad if I stream those games now because I own them, and like I don't have to emulate them. Yeah, but I mean, like, not everybody.
With this service, it's even better. Yeah,
like you're paying a service, and now you can do that. So yeah, that's what we want to see. This is it.
Exactly.
So
I am happy to
please
pay,
do this with integrity.
Yes, I am happy to pay $120 so I don't have to change discs and can have a wireless controller. Let's just put it like that.
Absolutely, that nice old slick PS5 controller that literally looks like if you threw it at someone's head, it would take off at least an eye. Like
massive
one eyeball
damage
is coming out. Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for listening. Hope you enjoyed this little mini episode of Bonus XP. We really appreciate your love and support. And if you like this type of content, we actually have more episodes of Bonus XP for our Patreon subscribers. You can head over to our Patreon and see more content just like this every couple of weeks.
Also, if you like us doing current events on games, make sure you sound off on our Discord, and we will certainly keep it up for you because, yeah, we love being the end-all be-all on your gaming news, and we're here for you. Also, make sure to pay attention to our Twitter and Instagram. We're being a lot more consistent, and obviously we're fucking fun. So that's a good way to keep on.
Obviously.
Yeah, that's a good way to keep tabs on what we're doing at Hey RPGaymer. Gamers, we want to thank you for your time. Now go out there and get gaming.